What's up? What's up, everyone? Whoa! Let's go. Wait a second. Is my. Do I look. Okay, no, I don't look crazy. Okay. The display of what it was showing me looked like it was just like the part of my forehead right here. So that was crazy. What is up? What is up, everybody? Already got like 20 people here. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm just running around. Hopped in here. Boom, all these people. What's up, Donovan, TJ Tibbet, Squizzle, Jacob O'Hare, Kaloian Dobrev. I mean, so many familiar names, guys. So many familiar names. I'm also at the same time that I'm live streaming this. I am live streaming on TikTok too for the first time. So that's weird and interesting. I don't know. So there's a little phone right here. I don't know, but I'm out everything, all the questions and stuff. I want to grab in from here. We'll see how that goes. I don't even know because YouTube for life, bro. Bus, what's up, man? Bus, dude. See, I'm about to have to drive a bus tomorrow. First track meet of the year starts tomorrow. Wish my pole vaulters luck. That's all we want to see. The forehead. Get a good tight shot of the good old forehead. Oh wait, did I? All right, we're good. Sweet, awesome, guys. Here's how this works, as usual. I love these Q&As. I am gonna spice it up. What's up, Sebastian, Wyatt, Josh? Man, what's up? How many people are we have now? 25. Cool. Dude, I would do this if there was just 10 of y'all, for real. I would love these so much. This is so fun. This is so fun for me. I just love talking about D&D with you guys. How this works is y'all can just ask any question. Almost not yet, though. Don't start it yet. My moderators will grab it. I do have a first question here that I'll start it off with once I ask for it. Super chats, jump to the front of the line. I'll answer those because obviously I super appreciate supporting what I do here, making these things possible. Because man, I like, being monetized on YouTube and stuff, it's not much, and these live streams literally are the majority of anything that comes from YouTube, so I appreciate it. So that's you guys are insane, absolutely insane. CH is here, Michael Zitto is here. What's up? Howdy Grosnor. I always mispronounce your name. Love your videos. Hello from Argentina. Facundo Aloy. Beans here. All right, what's up? All right, enter hashtag question, all caps question, and that'll go and get into the queue, and you'll queue it up, and I'll try and go through these. When we get towards the end, I'm going to try and do a rapid fire, overtime, super speed run situation, but we'll see how that goes. Oh god. Okay. I'm trying to move all these arms here. Also, if you ask a question that's next level, I'm going to turn off all the overlays and we're going to go right into it. We're going to dive deep into the question, and it might make its own video. If you've seen before on the channel, I post videos more often now on Wednesdays, and these come from live stream stuff. So ask these questions, we can help get these questions out there to more people. And yeah, let's go. Also the overlays, just so people aren't confused. We have this is the boss monster. CH is apparently the boss, and every super chat donation goes to killing him. That turns into damage. Every dollar is like 100 damage or something like that. And then whenever you kill it, whoever lands killing blow gets their name there, and they become the boss. Ooh, so anyway, the first question is going to come from Tyler Crandall. He's a brand new Platinum Dragon, which is the highest tier on Patreon, super huge. And he had a question, but he wasn't able to be here for it, so I'm answering it right now. His first question, and then I'm diving into my moderators. You got questions? Oh yeah, I see other questions. Sweet. Tyler asks, how do you balance encounters involving dynamic terrain? Ooh, such a good question. I see a whole bunch of questions coming in. Here we go. Reno's here. What's up, Reno? Fast Hands Hero, you made it. God, just in time. It's a little later than usual. Usually I do it at 8 o'clock. So the question is, how do you balance encounters involving dynamic terrain? First of all, I always have dynamic terrain in my encounters. I think it's one of the things, it's like a necessary part of an encounter, is having some sort of gap, some sort of barricade, some sort of barrier, some sort of distance, some sort of changing terrain, like an avalanche that happens mid-fight and then something else moves. Moving pieces, and platforms that swivel and turn in air and move on initiative 20 and initiative 10 or something crazy. so dynamic terrain is part of it, right? So I would say and I'm not trying to not answer the question, I'm trying to restructure it, is I don't balance encounters around the terrain because the terrain are in every single encounter, right? For the All-Star, for sure I need to do a video on dynamic terrain. There's just so much you can talk about that, so much. And just, yeah, brainstorm of different ways to do it. I just rattled off a few right there, but I think you always have to have some sort of dynamic terrain, some sort of moat of water, some sort of trees, or just something around to be able to have it. And trees and water is not the most dynamic, but it's at least something, right? So I would say what he's worried about, and I talked with him about it just to clarify the question, is worrying about like the environment being so dangerous and that playing into the difficulty of the overall situation, right? So I honestly, and this might sound weird way to think of it, I don't think of that balancing the terrain numerically. I don't think of it, I give it like a 1 through 5 scale of how intense it is, and then I modify the encounters based around that. I think if I try and think of numerically too many things to balance, it gets super hard. I just keep in mind, am I throwing some absolutely crazy environmental stuff at them? Okay. Maybe I don't, go crazy with all the extra abilities that I give my monsters. And it just depends on what you want to focus on. Do you want the focus to be on these crazy monsters with their crazy abilities, or this crazy terrain that's like avalanches falling in your lava, the earth splits apart and there's now a huge gap, right? So, and I might give the monsters in abilities to interact with the environment. Like if I know I'm going to break a seam in the center of the crevasse and there's this huge gap, I'm gonna have monsters that probably have grapples and throw to try and throw them in there, right? So anyway, whoo, Kalewian says 58 viewers. Wow, that was fast. We're moving. We on and popping with so many questions. I'm gonna go on to the next one, but long story short is I would not overthink the balancing around the terrain. I would just keep in mind how intense the terrain is, and then fit your monsters around it, right? But you always want to have the terrain in there. So for me, there's always dynamic terrain, which helps me balance because I always know that there's some sort of presence there for things being dynamic like that. So here we go. Dude, DM TJ Tibbetts is killing it in the from moderators go. Man, you've gotten all the questions. As soon as I answer a question, mark it with a little emoji so I can keep track of that too, man. You're a freaking rock star. First question from the stream. First question is, how many D&D games are you currently in / running? I have one right now that I am running at my school. Technically kind of 2. Like one of it's during like an off period, and another one's like sometimes after school, sometimes on days where we're not doing much. So as far as my being a teacher and coach, I have that type of games that I have, that I run a lot of games with high school kids, showing them the game, teaching them the game, or the ones that come back and haven't graduated yet, because there's always a turnover there whenever the seniors graduate. But then I get to write in a crazy epic send-off for them, whether it's killing them or not. And then I have a group with my pole vaulters. Since I coach track and field, I have my varsity pole vault team has a group of D&D people there. I have a group that's testing some stuff that I have like a test squad of 3 players. But ultimately, right now, I am not playing as much D&D as I want to. Honestly, Zack TV. I'm not playing as much as I want to. Honestly, I want to play more. Honestly, it sounds like a spicy encounter. Yes. I want to play more, but I honestly just do not have time to just have a full-blown session. And honestly, there's some things in the works that I can't announce yet to let me be able to do that more. Because one of the first things I want to do is I want to play with my patrons. I want to have that kind of thing where I can play with the community, get those games going. I want to get a full-blown like next level group going, that I have all of the people that I've played with, and I want to play with and do that next level campaign where I can do some live streams that I'm showing you how, like behind the scenes of me making stuff at the campaign, even live stream me actually playing. I think that's a huge goal of mine, is to actually live stream playing for you guys, to show some examples, like literally. But yeah, that's a huge goal once I have time. But being with teaching and coaching, we're in the middle of season right now, and YouTube channel and newborn child and husband with family stuff. There's just, it's crazy. But there's a lot of things in the mix that I cannot say yet, of things going on there. So we got a super chat from TJ Tibbetts. Let's get the questions. TJ started off the super chats with saying for you guys to ask questions. So hats off to you, man. Hats off to you, man. That's really funny. That's really funny that just happened. You just told people to ask questions. That's funny. Appreciate you. And CH, CH with a super chat, healing himself, because if a CH, since he's the boss right now, if CH super chats, then it heals him. So, and he says, let it begin. So the forever DM. Oh, I am a forever DM too. Oh man, I'm never a player, never. And anytime I am, man, I just freaking go all out. Anyway, I've been a tutorial player before. Like I've done this multiple times where a DM is starting with brand new players and they're just kind of thinking inside the box and not really knowing what to do. So I will come be like a guest spot appearance for like a session or two, and then I'm done. Just to show them and kind of shake it up, just role play, interact, kind of lead by example type stuff. So anyway. Next question comes from Jacob Loher. I don't know if I say your last name right, man, but I love saying your last name. Question: when do you go? What? Where do you go when your inspiration runs dry? Probably pretty rare for you, but where do you start looking? Honestly, like one of the things people ask that either don't know about D&D or they ask about the whole YouTube stuff. They're like, how do you keep making videos every week? And now I'm making 2 videos a week. I have so much to talk about. I love this game so much. I have so much to say. I have so much to share. There's just so much to offer, so many things to do. So I have literally a spreadsheet of over 300 videos that I want to make, but there's no time for it. It's crazy. So that's why I'm cranking up to 2 videos a week now to try and do stuff like that. But inspiration runs dry. I run my favorite shows like Dragon Ball Z, Avatar, Game of Thrones before they ruined it, Star Wars before they ruined it. Dang, that's really sad just now. But yeah, I mean, I think of stuff that I want to do. And I also would say, ask yourself the question, what have I wanted to do in D&D but haven't? I ask my players that a lot at session zeros, but I also ask myself that as a DM. What do I want to run? What do I want to throw at them? What kind of monster would be fun to run? Like right now I'm thinking about it. I want to run a burrow monster. I love burrow monsters. So I want to run a burrow monster. So they're going to have an encounter on the road with a burrow monster that maybe ties into the storyline or whatever. So Moose Mystic's question is, how are you doing? I'm doing great, man. That's so thoughtful. Appreciate it, Moose. It really is going great. I mean, it's awesome. I've absolutely, this is crazy. And like I've said, I can't say some of the stuff yet because it's like still in the works but there's been some crazy big things because of you guys' support and supporting the channel and supporting everywhere else to be able to do some pretty crazy big things. So I can't wait to talk about it, but I'm doing great, man. Appreciate it. Next question. What do we got to do? Solid points with the Game of Thrones and Star Wars. I know, like, what happened, man? What happened? Actually, what's funny is, see, that would be a whole tangent. That would be a whole tangent. Got too many questions to go on tangents. Anyway, Josh Zellers asks, have you thought about doing a D&D club for your school? Yes, and I have, and I did. I was the club sponsor. This was 2 years ago. I started a D&D club and did a whole thing with it. We had 5 different groups, and I had the DMs come together, and I was the DMM, the Dungeon Master. And I was an actual NPC in the world. I was the main person that was gathering up this band of marauders to fight against the evil one who had came to the land. We had barriers up in different sections when I sent my adventurers out into the, so, and that was kind of the big thing. I like sat down and I would role play this character in the center. I'd be like, and everybody's during character creation, I was like, what are your abilities? Who are you? Who is spellcasters over here? Come over, and like trying to like really be animated and go all into it to kind of hype everybody up. But yes, I did D&D Club for School, and it was 5 simultaneous campaigns going on in the same world. I bit off way more than I can chew. It was crazy. And then COVID stopped last year, and then YouTube, there's no way I could be a host of a club and with as busy as I am. So I had to hand that off to somebody else, and now they play Magic the Gathering. So yeah, I made an epic. Heck yeah, 14 questions. So many questions. 15 questions in the queue. Here we go. Josh Zellers asks, Josh with the double question. Could you recap your home game? Ooh, oh my God. That is a 3-year long campaign. I'd be very interested to see if that story would be like a YouTube video. I'm gonna put it up to my patrons, and I'll ask them to see if they want to see my 3-year long campaign, pure homebrew story, homebrew character, everything, homebrew worlds, everything. Oh, the plot and the big super crazy reveal at the end, literally mind blowing. And I don't want to say it right now just because I wanted to lead up the story, and I would just ruin it right now if I said it. So that is a huge thing to bite off. But basically, oh man, I don't even want to give. Basically, there were the thing I gave my players, which is far more going on than the eye can see. There were 5 deities of some kind, 5 forces in the world that acted on it in positive and negative ways. 2 good gods and 2 evil gods, bad ones, and then 1 balance in this balancer in the center, the balancer of the scales, Ronan, the great balancer of whatever. And that whole thing is what they kind of had to go through. And there's some strange things going on that didn't really make sense. And then they had to put it all together. So yeah, it was, that's a huge one right there. You see VODs in my live streams. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm kind of like, whenever I do start playing again with that main group that finished up that 3-year long campaign, I want to film it. I want to get it there and try and get that to be of professional quality to be able to do that. I'd probably have to start a second channel because YouTube doesn't like whenever you do live streams on or do this live stream content on your main channel because it tanks a lot of your stuff. So anyway, Scatterbug, what's up, Scatterbug? Question: do you think anyone will defeat CH? Dude, I don't know, man. How much health does he have? Like 8,000, 6,000 now, 7,000. Whoo, yeah. CH, man. CH is a monster. He's a monster. Stuff you learn sprinkles in. Similar campaign diaries by Matt Colville. Oh yeah, exactly. Like I really, another reason why I want to live stream is that whenever I do play and stream and like have it be out there, I want to make videos maybe once a week, maybe once a month or something, where I go in and break down, like literally like a coach would break down film for athletes. Like I want to break down the film of me playing and my players playing, and like maybe things that I did or things that I redirected my players to do, or certain things that I like preach in my videos, and showing it live in action, or showing when I mess up, showing when I do good, showing when I do bad, all that stuff. I want to show all that for sure. Well, a super chat from Odds Are. Question: how do you approach world building? Any tips for someone who's building a world would be great. See, I am currently working on a world building script to make a video for. That's one of the big things that I got. I did a big, in December, in the end of the year, I did a huge poll on my patrons and asked them, like, what do you want to see? Like, what do you want to see that I haven't done so far? World building is one of them. So I have big plans to do a world building, but my biggest tips is it depends on if you have a story you want to tell in your world, or you're just trying to build a world. The first time I did it, I had a story, and the story and the things that were going on and all these other things, that was a good inspiration. And I had these little like I almost picture it like dynamite fuses. Like I could start from a different spot and flush it out from these different spots, and don't get too caught up from one spot and building out from one spot. Like all right, what do I need to have? Pantheon. Okay, I know this much about a pantheon, but don't fully flush it out completely. Like just touch on the stuff that you need to do, and you don't need a full pantheon of like 8, 13, 15 different gods. You only need the stuff that you need, which sounds very simple, but don't go too crazy and too wide broad strokes. But it really depends on if you want to tell a certain story and you build in a campaign in that world, or if you want to just have a generic world setting that you could have many campaigns in. That's what I'm working on right now, and that's I think a really good way to do it, is to just create a world in different cultures and different settings and different kingdoms and different things that are in the world and where it's at, to be able to go from. But I would say, if you're doing world building, don't try and build a world, because that's super intimidating. Build this town, build the starting town for the thing. And I honestly am going to, whenever I do the world building video, I'm going to do some generic world building stuff of my own to be able to build out a a gray world, like a gray area, middle of the road world that I can tweak and change and slide around. You know what I mean? So that I have this world that is amorphous enough and malleable enough and flexible enough to be able to tweak towards whatever campaign that I want. Do I want to have a low magic campaign? Okay, well now this town, that's main export is magic goods. Now this town, if magic's a low magic setting, that's the black market town now. They have magic items, but now it's a super sketchy town that sells magic items under the table, compared to if I ran a high magic place. That city is now the main place for magic items and artifacts, and people come all around, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good way to do it. All my campaigns start with various groups in the same world, and they love seeing what each other's shenanigans cause in the world. Exactly. And if you can do that, and that's what my recommendation would be, is to not just build a certain world to fit the certain one story you're telling, because then, like the huge world that I made a 3-year campaign in is now gone. I'll probably take parts of it and like sprinkle it in and the inspirations and stuff, but I want to build a world that I can forever play in, and then eventually turn it into a setting and then share it with you guys and do all this other stuff. Huge, big plan. But odds are that's a great question. Appreciate you. Next, super chat again. Super chat again coming from Justin Brislin. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Paused my 3-year campaign in part to rest for new players joining in and being lost. In part to reset. Yeah, for new players joining in and being lost. Part to add stuff I learned here. I love your content, and it helped to shake off some burnout. Heck yeah, okay, I see the whole thing now. Sorry, I can't read right now. Maybe it's because it's in yellow, and I just really... Anyway, new players coming in, being lost, and adding stuff that you learn here. That's awesome. That's awesome. And shaking off burnout. I mean, I think that is a huge thing. People like, you don't want to get burned out of this awesome game. You know, if you're doing stuff that's causing burnout, stop doing those things, right? Have other people help you out. Talk to your players that are causing these things that aren't fun. I've talked with a lot of DMs that are experiencing like those social contract, violation stuff, and there's just really annoying things that the players are doing between each other, or they're disengaged from the game. There's other problems, right? And it's just, that's wears you out, man. So yeah, gotta nip those freaking burnout issues in the bud. So I love it. And players in, I don't see a question, but I appreciate. I just wanted to check back through it again, so I didn't scan over it. But I love that new players are coming into this world, picking up everything else. That's really awesome. I would say my little bonus tip there: make sure they're invested. Make sure they're invested in what's going on, because if you had this big story for 3 years and then new people are coming in, make sure that they have a heavy investment in there to where they can take part of it and run with it. So heck yeah. Next question. I just looked over at TikTok. There's 5 people on TikTok. What's up, people? Oh, there's 4 now. Okay. Anyway. Orangey Plays, next question. How do you personally make your BBEG fights more entertaining for the table? Ooh, dang. The BBEG fights more entertaining for the table. I mean, I would say this question is just same as any other. Like, how do you make it a fight? How do you make an encounter engaging? How do you make an encounter fun? Like, dial certain things up. Every time I have a encounter, I try and throw something at my players that they've never experienced before, and I've never ran before. You know what I mean? I throw it, and that might sound crazy to be able to constantly do, but you'd be surprised with how unique the BBEG is, how unique the encounter is, the environment, like we talked about earlier. All those things are very, very different. So make the BBEG fight more entertaining. I mean, put some stakes in there, man. Like, have them kidnap some party member, some NPC that means a lot to the PCs. Have them have some sort of if they don't something within a certain time period, or there's something else going on beforehand. I have to make a choice, like there's two choices to make. Do we go this way, or do we let this happen? Like, shake them up. This is the BBEG, man. You gotta make it. What would they do? The BBEG should know so much about your player characters to be able to do some more meta type things, because a lot of times as the DM, your players' weaknesses, what they love, what they care about. So you can try not to metagame too much by like having people go after that, but the BBEG should know those things, which make them even more scary. So heck yes. New super chat from TJ Tibbetts, who's sitting here in in Discord cranking out these questions for me, and now he's doing it right here. Why do you feel like a hacker in a movie? Oh, why do you feel like a hacker in a movie? LOL. Question: sneak peek on the next PDF. Ooh, interesting. I do have a sneak peek there. It is on my laptop. Is currently the Google Doc that that's being worked on right now. So okay, if you don't already know, is I do monthly PDFs every single month for my patrons. Any multiple reward tiers there for different levels of however much you're able to support, but I give more and more stuff to the people. I'm not trying to do a plug, I'm trying to answer this question, but in those PDFs, this month was the big huge city, the entire city in one PDF. It was super fun to make. Next month, the sneak peek for next month. Plug the Discord. Yeah. Somebody, one of my mods link the Discord invite in the chat for me. That'd be sweet. But next month's PDF is monster creation, monster examples, different monsters that I would run at my table. I did a giant ape. I took a giant ape, which is a very bland thing. It's the D&D giant ape stat block. I literally took it and turned it into the Dungeon Coach version. Not trying to say that that's amazing by any means, but I did my version of a giant ape, something very basic and simple, and then many more. That's going to be part of the PDF. Building monsters on the fly. The system I use to make monsters in less than 30 seconds, which is super awesome. So yeah, that's the sneak peek there for you, TJ. What's up? All right. Next question. What's up? The Strovrum. We aren't able to post links. Maybe the mods are allowed to. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess. Oh, I think actually invite people. Hidden button. How do I invite people? No, I just want to invite for the actual. Oh, see, I don't even know how to invite. Oh, invite people. Hide button. Edit invite link. Hidden. Copy button? Copy. I copied it. Okay, I'm going to post it here. Let's see if this works. There you go. I don't know if that works. CH, I only saw your question right now because I just entered that in. I like my steaks rare, man. Rare. You like yours deadly? Interesting. So literally freshly dead. Is that what you're saying? That's even more rare than what I like. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right. Anyway, next question. Fate. I have water. I do have water. Fate question. Fate Anomaly asks, do you think action-oriented monsters should just be boss monsters or should generally be used in most combats? Aha. So, in general, I agree and disagree with this question. I think action-oriented monsters, and I have a whole video on that. You can see a huge centipede Remoraz on the thumbnail for it. But I absolutely love them, and I think people should think outside the box when it comes to using them, and when it comes to using legendary actions, and it comes to using monsters' bonus actions and reactions. The giant ape that I just talked about making has 2 different bonus actions and a reaction, and an enrage at 50%, and it calls in things, and there's multi. So I'm saying, like, each monster should just be more dynamic and have more things. Like, just give them cool stuff to be memorable, right? But what I will say about the question is not all of them, not all fights should be action oriented as far as that goes, because it loses the punch and makes it less unique. If every single creature they fought had legendary actions and every single creature had villain actions and action oriented monsters things and all this kind of stuff, a layer action, if that always was the case, it would be less scary when they fight big things that do have these things. Like, you hear your players talking at the table, in the smart players that are like the next level ones that know the game inside and out, and then like they know they rolled their initiative was like 22 or something, and then after that, like, something happens and they're like, okay, that's the layer action. Ooh, this thing has a layer action. Like they're thinking, and they like track legendary actions and stuff. So, and if you track legendary actions for my monsters, you might be wrong, because sometimes I have 1 legendary action, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. I'm crazy. What? I'm trying to kill my players. Let's go. Question for CH. Who dares challenge me? CH asks, who dares challenge me? Hey, bro, you're at half health right now. So I don't know, man. People are coming for you. Oh, that's funny. Next question. I'm trying to fly through here. So we're already halfway through the stream, guys. Let's go. And next question, where to go? Josh Zeller's question: do you use third-party content, Cobalt Press, etc.? In general, no. I am, and I've always been pure homebrew. And if I don't like something, I make it up. And if I, yeah, that's kind of, and I'm not saying there's not really great stuff out there. It's since I started the YouTube channel, I've found lots of really cool resources. But here's my example. If I'm going to prep for a game and I want to use third party content, or if I want to prep for a game, whether it's third party content or not, and I have 3 hours, it would the time it would take me to like read through some third party content and like find certain things that I want, I could just create it myself, and then I got it and I'm good and I'm going, and I'll remember it better because I made it. I'll know where it's at. It's more custom fit to my group. Like that's just kind of how I am. And I understand not everybody can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. And I'm not saying that's not a brag on myself. That's not a thing. That's why I try and make videos like this to kind of help that process, to show little tips and tricks that I've learned to help me be good at that. Not like, I think that's a whole nother concept of like creativity, and there's creative people and there's not creative people, but I feel like everyone can be creative. It's just if that's been fostered in you, if that's been inspired in you, instilled in you, and it's fostered for growth in you, right? So yeah, I mean, that got a little deep there, but I just make it up myself. I in general don't use third-party content. I barely even use the content itself. Now I keep, it's the rules, the rules as written, as important as they are, I change them when I see fit, and I make my games based, and I play D&D 5th edition, but really it's like 5.5 edition Dungeon Coach style. So that's another sneak peek coming there here in the summer. Oh, Julian, I'm still awake, 4 a.m. in the morning. That's hardcore, Julian. Hardcore, man. Hardcore. Good morning from Australia. Heck yeah, mate. Sweet. That question was from a TikTok. What question? How would you receive? There's a Reno going into her TikTok question. That's awesome. How would you revive a Warforged if you're using the Mending Homebrew in your TikTok? I did a TikTok video on Warforged and if you can heal them or not. Because I would say Warforged can't benefit from healing. Like normal healing spells would not heal a Warforged. Mending cantrip would, and then you could homebrew all these different types of things there. But to revive them, ooh, wow. I would say you'd have to know the Mending cantrip and like dump like a 5th level spell to trigger the ritual to be able to try and do it, but then you'd have to do my homebrew resurrection type thing to be able to get the ritual going. And how do you revive a Warforged? What parts do you have? Do you have some sort of electrical current? Do you have some sort of arcana magical flow you can pump into them to try and bring them back? Super next level creative stuff there. For all that to revive a Warforged. That's awesome. Coach, roll a death save. I'll roll a death save. I got a D20 right here, baby. Oh, I just held it up with a 1. That's funny. I'm rolling 1. I got 3. 3. Okay, so there's there's that, Jeremy. I don't know. Failed. Yeah, I definitely failed. Oh, Mike C, what's up from a patron in Malaysia? That's so awesome. So awesome. We're worldwide, guys. We're worldwide. Okay. Next question. Speaking of terrain, this question comes from TVN 525. Speaking of terrain, do you have any advice on getting better at having terrain involved in your encounters? I feel like I only ever do the basic pitfalls and resources for that. Now, are there resources for that? I mean, honestly, I need to make that video. Apparently, I'm going to write that down. I need to make that freaking terrain video. Is what I need to do. Terrain video. Do I do a rant? Do I do a rant on terrain? Do I do a rant on terrain videos? I don't know. Terrain. Would I want to do a terrain rant right now? Terrain, chasms, gaps, water, terrain. I mean, levels. Okay, yeah, there we go. So this is here we go. We're getting serious, guys. So rant. That's funny. Okay. So the question is, do you have any advice for getting better at having terrain involving terrain encounters? Okay. So here we go. Behind the scenes stuff here for you guys. So Terrain, and how to use terrain in your games to enhance every single encounter that you possibly can. Every encounter you do should have some type of terrain in there to shake things up, spice things up, and not have it be just a huge flat battlefield. Even if I was doing like a gladiator arena of a big huge circle, I'd have some pillars in there that do something, that have some sort of magic pulses, and you roll a d4 and one of the 4 pillars on that turn activates as a layer action. Like simple stuff that you could just pull out of what would make sense in that moment. So if you're in the middle of a forest, a bunch of trees, maybe there's a bunch of trees that form like this weird semicircle arc. Maybe there's a moat in the center of it, some sort of water source. Maybe I've thrown out there in some sort of creepy forest area, I threw a pond mimic, like a literal mimic that is a pond, and that was the thing. And it had these weird algae type things, and if the player backed into it, the grapple check to be pulled into, oh my gosh, right? So always have some type of environmental something. A huge tip here, first one is levels. Change up the levels. Have some sort of high ledge with some archers on it that you're shooting down at your players. Have some sort of cliff face that like it's like a ramp. Like even if it's a flat field in the middle of nowhere, have some sort of ramp that just drops off, and it looks like literally like I don't know, say like a skateboard half pipe in the middle of the forest, but have some sort of elevation and then drop offs to give some levels going here. Have some sort of gaps. Maybe there's cracks and there's ditches and pitfalls. You can have literal traps, like things that are in there that would make sense for there to be where you're at. If you're in the middle of the desert, maybe there's a section of quicksand. Maybe there's sand and everything's difficult terrain. Think of how you could make an excuse to come up with difficult terrain. Difficult terrain is so simple, but if you put it into your game, it makes people have to think more. Maybe they have to jump across the difficult terrain. Maybe you put like a 20-foot section that only your strong player with 20 feet or 20 points of strength could jump over it. Everybody else would have to think of something else. Gaps, distances, water, moats, lava, terrain, some sort of covered structures that can either fall in the ceiling on, if there's some sort, if you're already, I'm getting excited, guys. If you're already inside something and there's a cave of some kind, maybe there's some things on the ceiling that fall, and there's a layer action where everybody makes a dexterity saving throw in a certain section and stuff could fall on you, right? So terrain should be in every encounter, you should think about how big or how small of a role that it should play. There should be some sort of, like, anytime I've drawn a battle map for a fight, I have this, there's a huge stage, and they're going to come from this is where the boss is going to start at, and there's all this stuff on the sides, but then I need to put pillars in the center, maybe some big fallen debris over here, maybe there's some bodies, there's some like weird bodies on the floor, and that they're going to animate if I want them to during the fight, and they're going to come back to life. I'm going to put a crystal at the very top. I'll put stuff in there that I maybe not necessarily know that I want to have stuff in or mechanics for, but it just can lend it to itself and open yourself up to being able to insert in whatever else you want to do. Have those bodies rise up if the fight starts going south and it's really going bad and you really want to have something else happen. The bodies start to rise up as a layer action, or that crystal starts glowing really bright when the boss hits 50%. Put cool things in the room so when you describe the rooms, they could become something else. So not just the terrain, but the extra pieces that are in that room, right? But the only other thing I can think of for terrain, as far as like now, I don't know if you want to think about terrain as far as like literal, like using minis and using all that kind of stuff. But I think that's, I'm trying to think of other general tips for terrain, because you got levels, you got gaps, you got water. Okay. Final terrain tip is think about your players. Think about what your players can do well and not do well. Is some of them very good at swimming and have a swim speed? Put some sort of water in your game, or put some sort of, it doesn't look like water, but then when the fight starts and something rips apart or rips open, now there's water, and they're now having to figure out how to swim around in the water. Or if your players have fly, and if they can fly, have some sort of thing and contraptions flying around that are floating around in the air. Give them some floating platforms to jump on. Maybe the platforms start moving during the fight. I've also done this before with initiative count 20. Something shifts and moves. Initiative count 10. It keeps shifting and moving, and it keeps going like that. I've had my players fight in a room with a spinning walls of fire that I rotated on every initiative counts 20, 15, 10, and 5. I would just and so they had to keep moving to get away from the thing. So put cool things. Movement makes it cool. Levels makes it cool. Gaps, spaces, up, down, left, right, everywhere. So peace. So, man, you started that rant. That was a full-blown rant. You got a whole rant out of that one. Let me gather myself after that. I'm a rogue. TJ's a beast. What? Somebody? Oh, TJ, what? Whoa, wait. Wait a second. TJ comes in while I'm ranting. My guard's down. He's super stealth kill steal me. I didn't even see it happen. That was crazy. I am the boss. Yeah, man. You literally slayed CH in one hit. You just came out of nowhere. Rogue sneak attack right there. What part of your YouTube prowess have you found the most challenge in? What did you do to improve? What part of your YouTube prowess have you found the most challenge? Oh, filming. Gosh. I don't know if you've seen this. I do have one video. If you watch, where did I put it? It's on my Patreon. If you're a patron, you can scroll real far down and you can see how many attempts it took me to say one line, 47 times to say one sentence correctly. I would film for 3 hours. 3 hours I would film for a 12-minute video. And I'd have to edit the thing down. This is before I had an editor. I was also editing on my phone. My literal phone. I'm 6'4", and my huge thumbs. I'm sitting here trying to edit, and it was rough. But I'd edit through 3 hours of footage with myself. I would repeat the same. Like it was bad. Like I just did that on purpose just now. But like I don't know what it is. There's I could get into a lot of stuff. Like if you can also see, you see I have a scar on my head right here. I got a huge mega concussion from a shot put ball to the forehead. So I suffered from like short-term memory loss. That's something this is I think the first time I've ever shared that. So it's like I can't remember things in short-term memory very easily. Like I forget it super quick. So whenever I'd have scripts and I'd write things out and I would like read it, I'd read the line and then I'd try and say it and I'd forget it. And I would read the line and try. It was rough. So that was very challenging. I've filmed. It was a lot to be able to make one video. And then if you notice my videos early on, there's a lot of jump cuts, and that's because I am struggling my butt off to try and film the thing, and then I have to make jump cuts to be able to hide all that. And yeah, so what I do to improve, practice it, try and relax more. Live streams talking about it kind of helps. The rant that I just went on just now, that was one take. I'll probably chop off something in the center, but just try and relax and get more comfortable with it, more confident with it, and just practice over and over again, and just keep grinding through the struggle. So dude, I appreciate the $50 super chat. That is insane. We love the rants, All-Star. Appreciate it. I just happened to see Josh Zeller's question. Do you use minis or theater of the mind? I love minis, man. If you can see all around, I got minis shelves all over here on the sides of the wall, on both sides and in the back. I probably need some more minis, but I love me some minis, and I make terrain. I use the cardboard and stuff. It's nothing super fancy, but it works. And I'll use theater of the mind if I have to, or if the fight condones it, if it works, or if it's like a scrappy scramble real fast thing. But anyway, okay, so okay, let me get through the rest of these. There's more super chats. What the heck? Bean, how do you handle food and rations for your players? Bean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Look at Bean asking about food. Have you changed spells like Goodberry and others to give food? How often does the party need to manage their rations if they do? So, in general, this is kind of the thing. This is a great question. So great of a question. I'm going to do another mini rant on it. How to handle food in Dungeons and Dragons. In general, when you have homebrews, I have a default homebrew that I would prefer for games, but I will change that depending on the groups. I've done a whole video on the channel already about how to implement homebrews and the whole process that I go through doing it. But in general, for myself as the dungeon master, I don't track food rations. You have food rations. It would make sense. You eat your food. You stop in. You swing by the tavern. We'll role play the big meal around the table as you share stories or whatever, and kind of relax and chill. I don't track food rations, and you should be okay to not track food rations. You don't have to if you're verisimilitude or you're trying to immersion in the game. Like, you don't need to be strict on, do you have food rations though? How many food rations do you have left? If that's not the style or the theme of what you're going for. But if I were to run Icewind Dale, guarantee you, I'd probably track me some food rations. I'd talk with the players at the table. What do you want to track? I'd talk with my wizard. I had a chronomancy wizard all the way up to level 20 player. And I asked the player, "Do you want to use spell components? How much do we want to track that?" He wanted to literally like micromanage his spell components and how many charges he had of each amount of dust, how much fabric, how much cloth. He wanted to track all that, and it was super fun for him to have to go find it. And there's some times when he ran out and they're in the middle of nowhere and he had to get creative. And can I use these ingredients to cast the spell? Super creative. I love that stuff, and he loved it, and that's what we did for him. If you have a ranger, do they want to track ammo or not? Just ask them if they want to. Sure, come up with a system of how they're going to use it. For food rations, if you want to track it, cool, go for it. And I would just say every day you need one food ration. That's the most simple, like basic way of whenever during the day, sometime you have to use one food ration. And if you can get super complicated, like the size of the creature and times 4, and so large creatures have to have 4 pounds or multiples of 4 and all that kind of stuff. And if you have horses, they have to have the rations. And if you want to do that, go for it. But I would just keep it as simple as possible, 1 a day. And if you have larger creatures or horses or something, 4 a day, and then mark it at the end of every literal day whenever you rest for the night or whatever. And then if you have some sort of encounters or some sort of things that attack you at night, so maybe there's some sort of encounter that happens at night and they ransack your food stash. That if depending on how the encounter goes or how people roll, you could do a 1-round skill challenge. I have a video on that too. And if they fail, maybe they lose some rations instead of like what's the point of the encounter? They're just going to full heal anyway. Maybe the point of that encounter is to lower their rations and make them have to worry about food. Are they going to get stacks of exhaustion now? Do they have to start rationing out their food? If you want to ration out food and that be a part of your game, sure, then go for it. I've also say this. In general, I don't count encumbrance. That's another thing in this little category of ammo, spell components, rations, food. Encumbrance is something in general that I don't track strictly. And it's not like I'm like, all right, encumbrance check in, guys. Let me see it. Let me at the beginning of every session or something. In general, I don't track it and I don't run it super strict. But there was a time when my group was going to go into an ancient green dragon's lair deep inside a waterfall with a huge underground dwarven city. Super epic, super crazy. They were in there for 3 months in real life time. And this was a huge epic part of the campaign. And I told them before they went in, I was like, all right, guys, we're going to be running some encumbrance stuff during this section of the adventure. So from the point from right now until y'all get back, if you do, we're running encumbrance. Here's how it works. And so I have an encumbrance system. So if you want to know about that, that's a whole nother video. But I only use the encumbrance system during the section of gameplay that it actually mattered for to use it in, right? They're going to go into the city. They had to gather up some things that were pretty heavy things. One of them was an anvil. How are they going to carry the anvil? Who's going to carry the anvil? Like how many pieces? There was so much treasure in this city. How are you going to get it out? You're going to a dragon's lair. How are you going to get it out? What do you want to carry? Do you want to carry the gold, or do you want to carry the gems, or do you want to carry the items? So it was, and I love that they got to have a little taste of tracking that type of stuff. So for food, if you want to track it, go for it, but talk to your players, see if you want to do it. And then the last little bonus tip here is if you want to track things like this, if you want to track rations or supplies or whatever, you can have what I've ran before as a supply die, and you have a D12. Similar to my Wild Magic Homebrew Sorcerer, you have a D12, and this is your supply die. And if you roll on it, you make a supply check, and if it's general conditions, everything's fine, roll a supply die. If you get a 1, the die degrades to the lower dice. Or maybe if things are worse and things are bad and it's really cold or it's really crazy, maybe a 1, 2, or 3 degrades the supply die. And there's different scenarios and different things, different encounters. If they succeed or fail, it can change the DC of that supply die of a 1, 2, or 3. Keep it low, because I think the highest I've ever gone is like a 5 or something on a D12, and it was like, oh, then they roll it to see if it degrades or not. And if it gets down to a D4 and you roll a 1 on a D4, you're out of supplies. That's a really simple way to do it. So there you go. Peace. Y'all are on fire today. On fire today, guys. I love these questions. That is such a great question. Oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? There's so many super chats. What? What is going on? What? That's a story. 6'4". Oh, Kaloian didn't know I was 6'4". All you ever do is see me sitting in a chair. So no wonder. That's crazy. Do you participate in games with someone else DMs? I would love to. JPJ, I would love to participate in games with somebody else DMs. I have before, and I do it as like a volunteer or like a demonstration player. But usually I am the forever DM as usual. Okay, let me get through some of the rest of these because we're getting close here, and I've been on some rants here. So, but what's going on here? Scatterbug question: will no one avenge poor CH? Scatterbug is super chatting. Oh my God, DC Artificer's the boss now. I'm so behind. What's happening? So Scatterbug says avenge. Oh, and DC Artificer, bro, with a $75 super chat. Do not mess with the wizard. I'm sitting here ranting about food rations and encumbrance and spell components, and DC Artificer comes in with a $75 super chat and kills it. What the heck is going on? Oh my God! And we hit the stream. This is what? What? Bam is right. Jeremy Craven's bam. What? That's nuts. That is nuts. And then CH with the super chat. I like the idea of key and sorcery points. But I feel like trying something for a new homebrew class. Do you think one resource point for every 2 or 3 levels could work? And if what can you do with them is more spectacular? For sure, CH. 100%. 100%. I think resource pools in classes are awesome. It's so much you can customize a class so much based on what you can do with the points, how much you spend 2 points to be able to do something cool. So like, I think all monks have like a big 4-point spender, and that's something crazy they can do. That's what this class would be. If you only have, if you're level 20 and you have like what, 7 of these only, that they'd be able to pack more punch, you know what I mean? And so even if you say like a level 8 character would only have 3 of these things, that'd be pretty sweet. And you could even do proficiency bonus times, and that happens a lot of times. But if you want to do an entire class resource point system, maybe you want to go a little bit more than just your proficiency bonus. But even if you don't, let's just say you did proficiency bonus. That's awesome. You like channel divinity. That's a super huge, powerful thing, right? Not a lot of resource points there, right? So anyway, I totally would be on board with that, CH, for sure. More bang for your buck. And then Joffrey Mackin has a 2,000 whatever that symbol is, which is crazy. I don't even know what that means, but that's awesome. Thank you, Joffrey. Homebrew request, miscellaries campaign idea. Tyrannid Zerg bugs. Oh, Tyrannid Zerg. Oh, I love Zerg from StarCraft. You just sent me down the freaking flashback trail there, man. I love Zerg. I played StarCraft and StarCraft 2 so much. I was always Zerg for life, lurkers, Hydralisk, Mutalisks, Guardians, Overlord, Hydralisk, Zergling, drop, spam. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, so old enemies make peace, overcoming old grudges and bitterness. Homebrew request campaign idea. Oh, see, that would be sweet. That'd be sweet. Like that's the whole point of the campaign. Is like, what's that one movie, Star Troopers, or like there's like alien bugs infesting everything. That'd be such a creepy campaign. There's just bugs everywhere. Oh my gosh, I just got chills down my spine thinking about that, dude. Joffrey, that is a great campaign idea. Ooh. Okay, what else is going on here? What else is okay? So, and then DC Artificer with another, guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but DC Artificer is who made this computer. Like DC Artificer, this computer that I almost pressed the off button. Oh my God, I almost just pressed the off button. I would do that. That's insane. So okay, what DC Artificer? We have something for you on stream. Check your Discord messages. What? You have something for me on screen. Check my Discord messages. Check your Discord messages. I'm checking my Discord messages. DC Warlock patron. Oh, I see. They made a Warlock patron. Where is it at? It's right here. Oh, what? Okay, I have to share this. How can I share this? Oh my gosh. Okay, where's my screen overlays? No, right there. Okay, there it is. Guys, look at this. Pact of the Dungeon Coach Warlock. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Scatterbug drew that. I know that much. That's the old channel logo, guys. Holy crap. Joe Cherry, what's up, man? Joe Cherry's here. Platinum Dragon's coming out strong. Wow, look at this. That's the original channel logo. And there's me with the good old beard. Pact of the Dungeon Coach. Oh my God, it's what is what is going on? What is going? Oh my God. Wow, but look at that though, for real. Look at the purple. There's purple and red blood splatter splashes. I'm the patron, the warlock patron, the dungeon coach, pact of the dungeon coach. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't die, coach. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You super chatted me to be able to show me this. That's crazy. That's crazy. Pact of the dungeon coach. You draw find familiar, exclusively a small purple dragon. It has to be like that's the only thing it could be. Tasha's hideous laughter. You got me. You're already casting that on me. Enthrall. Maybe that's the puns. And Tasha's hideous laughter, but you can only use puns. I think would be the restriction on that one. Enthrall, magic mouth, counterspell, the good kind that I did a homebrew video on. Nice. Spirit guardians, patrons unite. Y'all are my spirit guardians, all my patrons. Fabricate, create new homebrew. Leoman's secret chest. Oh my God. Commune, ask for homebrew advice, and legend lore. Oh my God. That is so epic. That is so epic. And it's in a PDF now too. Oh my gosh. I need to save this. I'm going to post this on on Patreon right now. As soon as this is over, I'm going to do that. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's so cool. God, I want to go through all of these, but then I don't want to just have the rest of the stream go into that. And I remember if this is the same thing that somebody posted before, I've seen this, but now it's in a PDF, and that means you got Mark involved, because this is how my PDFs look, because I can see the all of that. So Mark was involved in this too. So thanks, Mark. Thanks for that. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Oh my God, DC Artificer, somebody damaged him. What? Oh my God. What? Okay, first of all, TJ Tibbet says, should I have used the surprised coach? Should have used the surprise coach. Oh, I have many faces now at this point that have been floating around the internet now. And then Joe Cherry comes in, already applied with $50 super chat, and just says pow. And DC Artificer is on death's door now, hanging on for dear life. And then DC Artificer comes in with a sneak attack, $10. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's so funny. Wow, it was Mark's whole idea. Oh my God, of course. Y'all are not sabotaging against me, but wow. That was hilarious. Holy crap. That was hilarious. Okay, wow. All right. So at this point, man, oh my gosh, it's already 9:30. And I'm gonna do a turbo. I'm gonna go into overload check. Here we go. I'm gonna go through. Wait. Where's? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna do a flyby here and go through as many as I can. We got 64 people still. Sweet. I just hit the like button. I just saw it and I hit it. I'm gonna go through as many questions as I possibly can. Over 9,000. Over 9,000. I love Dragon Ball Z so much. Okay. So I'm gonna do a turbo round here. I'm gonna fly through some of these questions. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to fly through some of the questions. I'm going to pick up right here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many that I missed out on. Dang. Okay. I'm going to fly through. Here we go. I'm going to set the shot clock. Oh crap. Oh, I got to use my phone now. Later, TikTok. I'm sorry. I got to steal my phone back now. And then, oops. Okay. Ow, I just pinch myself with the phone. Okay. Setting the shot clock. Shot clock's going to be at 5 minutes. 5 minute shot clock. I'm going to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to be fast though. So I hate doing this because I got to go so fast. But here we go. Ready, set, go. Whoa, Jacob Lohair. When homebrewing them Beastie Boys, what comes first? The stats, art, unique abilities? Do you ever look at ecology and monsters' role within the habitat? Yes, I do all of that. I would say that what comes first is what does it look like? What does it look like? What am I seeing? What kind of creature is it? What I want it to do? And then whenever I do see that, I think of what I want it to be able to do. Do I need it to be able to grapple? Do I need it to be able to deal poison damage? Do I need it to be able to have some lingering effect? Is this sort of be a fight that they're trying to like beat the top of the food chain thing? Or is this going to try and wear them down and maybe give them some sort of injuries or some poison condition that lasts or lingers or some sort of curse that the people cast on people, whatever it is. Then the stats come in and I flush it out from there. And I don't flush out the stats until I know they're going to fight it, right? I'll hold on to stuff and I'll homebrew stuff and I'll get the ideas of stuff and I'll let it sit there and I'll move on to the next thing. I'll start homebrewing that and going through that. But yeah, okay. And then once I know they're going to fight it soon and I know that they're going down that path, because I don't know, because I run a very sandboxy type game, then I flush out what its actual stats are. Josh Zellers, question. Biggest party you've DM'd for? 8. Whew, and that's a lot. And that's my ideal number. 5 is my ideal number. Best number of players. TJ Tibbets, question. Want me to use cowboy emoji? Just kidding. What is your favorite weapon in D&D to use as a PC? Mine is the war club. Mine is the whip. I love the whip. I have ran a God, what was it? Was that a goblin? I ran a goblin dual wield whip user, like literally 2 whips. And I had a homebrew feat of a whip grappler, and I dealt no damage the entire time. I grappled people and pulled them into fires. It was amazing, and I loved it. I love whips. Now don't get. Okay, anyway, I got the emoji working. Cool. Josh Zellers, I'm going to go next question. Grosnor, you ever run a trickster type monster to mess with the party? Nilbog, for example, from the Volo's guide was a great way to mess with the overconfident party. I do not know a Nilbog off the top of my head from Volo's guide, but I have definitely ran a trickster type monster, illusion type monster, some sort of, I have the players roll a d20, and then I before the game, I look at all their intelligence modifiers, and then I have them roll a d20, and so they can make that intelligence check to see if they can see through it or not, and then so that they don't know that I'm asking them for an intelligence saving throw or some sort of thing like that, because then they can metally know, like meta gamingly know stuff, so I could just surprise them. And there's a trickster type, like I've had entire hallucination monsters that were fighting them, and the entire point of the encounter was the walls were closing in on them, and they were trying to kill these things before, but they're hallucinations, they're holograms, and they had to kind of piece it out based on my descriptions, based on how I was describing things. So anyway, I love stuff like that. Jeremy Hudson asks, what's behind your DM screen? More electronics and screens or more paper and books? Honestly, more paper and books. I don't run a very technology heavy thing. I have my iPad with Trello board. If you've heard of Trello, I have a whole video. I go over Trello on my iPhone apps that I use. It's the first tech video that I did. I use Trello. It's either on my phone or on my iPad, and I have that behind my screen, but everything else is paper. I have index cards, sticky notes, out the wazoo. So I'm paper. I'm more so paper. Dragonium asks, have you ever run online? If so, what do you use? Roll20 Foundry. I use Roll20. I have a video on Roll20 for the basics guide on that, but I use Roll20. I think it's super simple. I've not tried Foundry, and I know that the Fantasy Grounds is apparently amazing, but I don't have didn't have the time or money to be able to get on there and try it out. Josh Zeller says, what movies, books, shows have you stolen the plot from in your game? Oh, I thought that was the alarm already. Avatar, Dragon Ball Z, Game of Thrones, Star Wars. Oh gosh, what was the really Star Wars was a big one. Some misdirection, some things like that. Not so much Harry Potter. I read the books, but I never was huge into it as far as implementing into my campaign. The Mandalorian has some pretty cool stuff in there. But again, I guess that's Star Wars still. Kaloan, question, Coach, if you were playing in the campaign of a lifetime as a player from levels 1 to 20, what kind of character would you play? Are you one of those players who can't play just one? I could totally play a character from 1 to 20, and I would play a Path of Wild Magic Barbarian. Is what I would play. If not that, a Path of Wild Magic Sorcerer. I think that would be amazing. And I might go to that just because of spells, and spells are awesome. But I also love barbarians, and they're just awesome. And I love trying to do next level stuff to be creative with what you can do with the big strong boy. Butters fam, question, try to make my game more deadly. Are there already made death saves 15 and short long rests 8 to 24 hours respectively. Any other tips for my players to suffer? Just kidding. Oh, there's time. Okay, I am going to finish answering this question though. Death saves at 15. Oh, ouch. And short long rests 8 to 24 hours. I don't know about death saves being 15. I mean, you could totally do that. Short and long rest. I don't know about that. That's very not on brand for me, or not something that I would sign off on, because I get the grittiness there, but man, you're restricting their resources at the end of the day. If you're like, gritty should not mean you get to use your cool abilities less. You know what I mean? Like, you can make games gritty and more deadly without restricting their abilities. Because if you make short and long rests 8 and 24 hours, your short rest cooldowns, if you're a warlock, my gosh, like I don't want to play a warlock, and that's in that game. You know what I mean? And that's not, I'm just showing my perspective on that. Is I would be very hesitant to restrict long rests to make them longer. In fact, in my games, I have my most popular D&D video on the entire channel I have is my short rest system. That's probably why I'm so passionate about this. My short rests are a minute, like are 30 seconds, a minute. Like you can even say that it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, but my short rests are 10 minutes, and my long rests are 6 hours of 2-3 hour blocks. So, and I can run a pretty deadly game. So I have a whole homebrew thing on death saves, Butters fam, that I would say for you to check out. I have a whole video on death and how I run it to make it more deadly, and then a resurrection system, because I would say a death save of 15. If they fail that, that's going to feel kind of bad. And they're going to feel like, if you fail a death save and it was 10, I feel like you can sign off on that a little bit more, unless the players are wanting to play a super deadly game. So there's my 2 cents on that. But boom, done. Oh my God, what happened? So, okay, Sebastian is now the boss, and I have a wall of super chats. What? Every time I turn my back on you guys, y'all go ham. What? There's a wall of color. There's just a wall of color on my thing. What? Don't forget to question and answer. Please come to the official. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Reno. Yeah. On Facebook, if people have questions, you can ask them there, and I try and answer them in TikToks. Holy crap. What just happened? Let me get caught up on this, guys. Oh my God. We're in overtime already, but y'all just blew. What just happened? Colin Skeel says, "Hey coach, what are your ideas about how to run divine intervention for clerics? How do you decide what's reasonable / awesome? Divine intervention. That's crazy. So if they ask for something, if they ask their god for something, I'll give them a number for that percentile die for 100, and I'll say what's possible there. And I've also, before, I've changed the divine intervention die to a D20, just because it doesn't have to be a D100. And a D20 is so iconic. I've done that before, where someone who really wanted to use their divine intervention a lot, they had a D20, and if they asked me for some crazy stuff, I'd be like, all right, roll in that 20. And if they asked me for some pretty reasonable stuff that could feasibly happen, I was like, all right, roll a 16 or higher. And then I had these windows of 1 through 5, you know, the 4 different chunks, 1 through 5, 10, up to 10, up to 15, and up to 20, to be able to do that with. But I mean, I just see how crazy it is or how awesome it is, and I give them a number. And if the number hits it, then freaking divine intervention, baby, let's go. TJ Tibbets donated to $1. I assume, oh my God, he's the boss now. What just happened? I can't even. Guys, this is crazy. The All-Star, love your videos, coach, keep it up, dude. Thanks, guys, like, for real. And then what is happening? And yeah, it's gonna be like keeping it up. Coulter Wilson with a $100 super chat. Question: designing a homebrew grimdark campaign, and I want the players to feel human, where even 3 or 4 wolves look dangerous. Leveling up will be a luxury, and the coin is the same price as bloodshed. Oh, that sounds so dirty. Oh, it's so dark. I see it, man. I see it. The way you're describing this, dude, I want to play in your game right now. Like, I want to play. No, I literally can't. I have no time. But like the way you're describing it, dude. I'm seeing it already from your description in a super chat. That's awesome. What would be some ways to make them fear even simple encounters? Oh yes. All right. So I assume they're going to start off at level 1. is what I would imagine for some type of grimdark campaign. Or if you did want them to start off at level 3, you can always reduce their health down. That's a very simple one. Professor Dungeon Master rants and raves about that. Runehammer, all these different types of people that run some like real tight games have very much lower hit points on their things. But you can always scale up the enemies. So it depends. Like lowering players to have this discrepancy is the same thing as increasing enemies. You know what I'm saying? But don't let them have big, huge health pools. That feels scary. And talk to them. Like I would set the tone at the beginning, be like, guys, like this is next level. Like you understand, like even like phrase the thing, like wolves, like if you're going to fight wolves, like if me personally was going to fight 3 wolves, that's pretty scary. You know what I mean? Now if me and my 2 other friends are fighting 3 wolves, I feel better about that, but that's still, it's a wolf or like a lion or something. You know what I mean? Like that's scary. So, I would just like make sure you don't pull punches. And that first fight should be terrifying. Like someone should almost die the first fight. You know what I mean? And you got to really hit them hard with that at the very beginning. Kind of like I was just talking about as far as recovery and hit points, and talking about resurrection and how it's not a thing. Like in order to resurrect in this world, like it would take however big of a thing that is. Maybe it's possible, but it needs some crazy material components, or only a few amount of people know how to do it. So set the stage. Let them know that, guys, like this is ridiculous, and hit them hard with that first encounter. Because man, that would be next level. And whenever you do have damage, or you have encounters, or you have things like those wolves should have mechanics to them. They should have some sort of bleed effect. They should have some sort of obviously there's pack tactics, but give them some mechanics that make them feel scary. Give one of them a legendary action. What? He's giving legendary actions to wolves? The alpha wolf, just one of them. You know what I mean? So yeah, throw in a villain action there of having the swarm happen around. Like make some especially in that first encounter, freaking scare the crap out of them. And you can even have the witchery stuff, like make them have to research and respect the things. Like wolves, how do you fight wolves? What do you need to do? Maybe you have to do certain things, or that like smells, or if it's a monster that's even more that's less mundane than just a regular old wolf. So that's crazy. That's the next level. That's awesome, dude. Coulter, man, I want to even say more. That's a $100 super chat. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And like I'd even say that like leveling up in money and stuff, like have everything that they buy, everything that they're trying to fight for, take a lot, you know, and like they win and they get something small or some little bonus and stuff. I would say one thing I would make sure is don't go too far down the rabbit hole of just beating them down constantly. Give them some cool stuff, but don't have it be a lot of cool stuff. And I'd also say start them off with not a lot. Like start them off with worse weapons, start them off with stuff that can break, start them off with a lowered possible armor class than maybe what they originally maybe should start with, because they just have such crappy stuff. And then after the first mission or the first little arc, they now have some good starting equipment. You know what I mean? So if you start them at a lower spot, not only will that feel more grim dark, but it'll also let them feel cooler whenever they do get the stuff that would get them back to neutral. So oh man, dude, that's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's super awesome. TJ Tibbetts, $2. I think that's how TJ got the boss, because he's just in there now. he's the boss. Okay. Sebastian. Oh, you were the boss. I run a game every Sunday. You can stop by whenever you want. Dude, like that's the thing, man. Like I have like this community is so awesome. As y'all are literally showing right now. I don't even know what the total is right now. I'm trying to focus on the super chats. I feel like it's a record or something. That's insane. But like this community is so mind-blowingly amazing. I could totally join in so many different games because y'all have been so open, just like Sebastian said, to just swing by and join in games, and I totally could. And I can't wait to have the time to do it. And I'm making some moves to get more time because that would be nuts. And then CH with a 69. CH with a $69 super chat. The quality of mercy is among the rarest of virtues, and the rarest of all in killers and kings. Go with the way. Ooh, I'm gonna read that again just to try and just hit that quote home and make sure I do it justice. The quality of mercy is among the rarest of virtues, and the rarest in all killers and kings. and the rarest of all in Killers and Kings. Oh, okay. I think I messed that up. Go with the way. Wow. That's crazy, dude. Dude, $69 super chat to freaking hit out a super awesome quote. Mercy is among the rarest of virtues. That's really cool. Killers and Kings. Dang, Mercy. That's pretty sweet, dude. You could you could make a campaign around that quote. You could make that's another thing, just a random thought here for CH's super chat, is every campaign I've ever ran has a theme. Like my big campaign theme of my 3-year mega campaign thing was power corrupts absolutely. Or absolute power corrupts absolutely, I think is however you phrase that, whatever the catchphrase is. But what would you do with power? What would you do with absolute power? Would it corrupt you, or would you protect it, or would you take it? Or would you use it? Would you stop others from getting it? What would you do with power? So anyway, Scatterbug is $5 super chat. Question: stream record? Probably. From what's going, and then TJ Tibbetts. That's why you're the boss. It's not just a $1, $2 snipe. It's a $50 super chat. I am the Bard boss. Don't mess with the music. Oh my God. That is a record, guys. What is it? I can't even see. Oh my God, guys. 548. That's insane. Guys, what? That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. Like, oh my God. Like, okay. So I obviously want to do this full time. Like, I want to do this full time, and literally these exact moments are what makes this possible. It's what makes it possible for my wife to see these things and be like, what? How on earth? Like, she's mind blown from you guys. Like, she's probably asleep right now, and I'm gonna wake her up and be like, babe, crazy. So, like, there's some huge things happening. Like I've been hinting at, to be able to do this more and more, and I'm making some big life changes to do this more and more. And this is crazy, that the amount of support that I get from you guys, like support from watching a video to support from $500 in a live stream to talk to you guys about D&D, because this is my literal favorite thing to do, and I get to do this. Oh my God, that's crazy. So and we're already at 9:47. We're 17 minutes into overtime, so crazy. So what guys, Joe Cherry, you're crazy, bro. All of you are crazy. You've all lost your minds. And then now TJ Tibbetts is about to die from Joe Cherry's, I don't even know, $100 super chat. I think it's 10,000 damage is what that equates to. That's insane. Okay, Joe Cherry, what do you think about removing reaction from characters and monsters? You may have covered this already and I just missed this. I was just wondering if you use it. That way characters can run without dying if they need, or big bad mobs. What do you think about removing reaction? Moving reactions, like removing reactions in general. So Joe, it's a $100 freaking super chat. I'm gonna answer this question good. Joe Cherry, clarifying question: when you say what do you think about removing reaction from characters and monsters, do you mean removing reactions, like the ability to take take a reaction? Is that what we're talking here? So ask me, or double check with that. And I'm gonna wait. Yes, from combat. Wait, okay, so are you talking about reactions? Okay. Wow. What's happening? And there's more super chats. Moon Dude 345 999 super chat. Yo, coach, been watching a while. Just wanted to do my part, dude. Thanks for the great content and awesome attitude. All the best. Hope 2021 is year of full-time dungeon coach, guys. Like, it's looking more and more possible. And if I'm going to do it, it's the two literal ways I'm able to do this is Patreon and these super chat, these super situations. Patreon's just awesome because they take less. Like YouTube takes 30%, Patreon takes 8%. So that's always awesome that Patreon does that. So the way I'm going to be able to do this full time is Patreon for the consistency, and then these things help in more ways than you know. I'm about to try and upgrade my cameras and my audio and stuff like that. Just I haven't been able to even think about doing that for a while. So and I'm able to hire more people. I'm making a website. That's another see, I'm only telling you guys that now. There's a website that is in the works, thedungeoncoach.com. It's not able yet. It's not. I bought the thing for it, but I just spent $1,000 on a website. So yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I'm all in, guys. Like I'm all freaking in this thing, and I hope y'all see that, and I think y'all do, because wow, that's crazy. But Moon Dude, like for real, like 999 super, like all the it's everyone coming together. I have multiple $2 patrons that I super appreciate, because it's all you guys coming together, and 10 people coming together to do anything it's crazy, much less in masses. So that's crazy. And then what's still happening? There's still okay. DC Artificer says $20 super chat snipe, doesn't actually snipe, and then CH snipes his snipe. The throne feels good. My gosh, guys, you're killing me. You're killing me, literally. Literally, this is insane. So you snooze, you lose. And then he goes, oh, boo. DC Artificer goes, oh, boo. And CH is laughing maniacally. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. All right. Joe Cherry, here we go. He clarified. Joe Cherry said, I mean, the mob gets an attack when you leave combat. I totally see what you're talking about. Okay, opportunity attack. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so, all right, GM Builder. I'm answering this, and I'm going to go all in on Joe's super chat question. I remember when you were editing on an iPad. You're awesome. You're inspiring me to actually start a D&D channel. That's awesome, dude. GM Builder, do it, man. It's the most amount of work that you'll ever do, but it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And and honestly, and this is not me trying to get sappy again, but I did the channel because I have a bunch of cool ideas. I think I could share ideas like that. That'd be fun, because anytime I talk to D&D with people, I had like ideas, and I'd tell them, and they'd be like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, I want to just share it with more people. I want to do this thing. And I literally, my son was just born. Like my wife was pregnant. Sorry, not born. My wife told me she was pregnant. And 2 weeks later, I started a YouTube channel, because I was like, I want to do more. I want to be able to do more, because I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher and coach. And y'all know, it's just, you only so much teachers get, and all that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to provide for my family more. And I never thought that it would be this. But the biggest thing that I never thought is, I never thought this community. I never thought there would be this huge community of support and embracing this homebrew crazy stuff that I throw at you guys, and just inspiring, being inspired, and inspiring as many people as I can. It's been absolutely insane. It's been absolutely insane. So thank you, GM Builder. Thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. So to finish off, guys, because I'm already in overtime here, Joe Cherry, removing reactions. Honestly, dude, this might sound crazy. I have thought about not using reactions. I mean, action, bonus action, reaction, movement. I can totally see why you're thinking to remove reactions, right? Opportunity attacks, I think, feels slimy sometimes. It's like you leave the threatened space, and then you just get a free attack, and then it slows down combat because you have to stop, and you get a free swing on somebody, which also corrupts the action economy technically, because you get a free swing if somebody moves out of your range or not. And then there's the disengage action, so then you have to take the disengage action, but then that feels bad to take the disengage action, because you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I know what you're saying. I have thought about it. And I am going to think about it more in the future with certain things. I think the reason why I decided to keep it, is you can homebrew around it. And as the DM specifically, I can give my monsters immunity from opportunity attacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, monsters don't follow the same rules as players, right? I would say I've given a player If you spend 10 feet of movement, you can I think and there's some other edition called a 5-foot step. I think 3.5 or something, 5-foot step or something. You can spend movement to not take an opportunity attack. That's kind of where I would go with that, which that makes sense. You're spending extra effort to make sure you don't get attacked. Okay, cool. If you don't and you just run, you get a free attack or not. So I would say the thing that I've homebrewed to try and address this topic is occupancy, like an occupy score, to where if you are a monster that's very well at, or let's say you're a player that's very good at fighting and a martial class that's good at being protected from all sides, you could take 2 people at the same time and not be overwhelmed or not get flanked or whatever. But then if a third person comes up, you're now overwhelmed. One of those people could leave without triggering an opportunity attack because this person's overwhelmed. Because if you have 3 people on you and one of them runs away, you're not going to get a free swing. You're not going to get a free swing because these other 2 people are going to attack you because you just, you know what I'm saying? So I would say instead of removing reactions entirely, I would challenge the validity of reactions and of opportunity attacks and how often those happen and how frequent all of that happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing that I would kind of shake up, and also legendary actions that you give monsters to be able to move without an opportunity attack. And I would talk to my players, and I've talked to all my players. Opportunity attacks is something that's possible, but there are going to be some creatures that you're not able, it's too quick. It moved away, right? Unless you have a special ability that lets you do it more or whatever. So I would say play with who's allowed to use opportunity attacks, because I don't give opportunity attacks to non-martial classes. So like sorcerers and all them, they don't have opportunity attacks. They can swing their staff or whatever bullcrap. Like they don't get that. No. It's just martial classes can do that. And there's other things like that I would kind of mess around with. And the last thing you have converted already and missed it. I have not talked about that yet. That is a good point. That way you can run without dying. Yeah. So I would also say you can always give your bad guys a bonus action cunning action, bonus action disengage, so you can always do that. Or you could have a general of the army that has an aura that grants permanent disengage to everybody. So I would say play around with things that make opportunity attacks immune from, or the occupancy thing that I've talked about before as far as opportunity attacks go, where you think about opportunity attacks and if they would make sense or not. So if you're surrounded by someone and someone leaves your threatened space, yeah, you can take an opportunity attack on them, but they get opportunity attacks on you too. You know what I mean? I've also done opportunity attacks where if you drink a potion, opportunity attack. If you try and lockpick a door, opportunity attack. Anytime you do something that's very specific, if you stand up from prone, opportunity attack. So you can increase opportunity attacks or decrease opportunity attacks, and just be free for thinking about that and what would make sense, and don't be too rules as written in a box about their use. So there you go. Okay. Am I up to date now? I'm up to date now. Okay. No opportunity attacks if you're flanked. Exactly. Boom. All right, guys. Holy crap, guys. This is insane. $700. Like, this super chat is more than I make in all of in a month of YouTube and everything all combined. That's insane. It's insane. It's insane. So I can't wait to do this more, and like who said it, 2021 be the year of full time. Moon dude, man, shoot, maybe, gosh. There's already big moves. I'll say this, there's already big moves being made to me. There's 2 huge moves being made for me to do this more. And I'm gonna have hours more per week to do this more. And however long it takes to get to the next step to where I can actually do this full time is it's on me to make as best content as possibly can, but it's the support from you guys that makes this possible. So thank you so much. I'm trying not to get too sappy, but we're already 30 minutes and overtime because that's crazy. So anyway, Thank you guys so much. CH just healed himself for $3.33. My favorite number is 3, bro. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. But thank you so much, all of you, for being here, for hanging out, for talking about D&D, all that stuff. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm trying to make them more often, and the support that I get, I put back into the channel, and I'm hiring people to I'm able to start trying to pay people to edit my PDFs, to edit my YouTube videos, so that I can create more time, and it takes more off of my shoulders. And me being supported like I am by you guys, and I'm so thankful for, so humbled by, I am able to give back to people, to take stuff off of my shoulders and be able to pay people and help them in their lives, like be able to have D&D be a source of income for other people too that I'm involved with and can help, that help me. It's just a really awesome cycle that y'all are all a part of. So thank you so much, all you guys, for real. I can't. Oh my God, CH, half of all my donations are for Coach Junior's college fund. And that's the crazy part, guys. The crazy part is, if I go full time and my wife is like does the she can, there's some other things and that she could do to help out the business as well. If we as a family do this full time, y'all would literally be paying for my kids' food. That's insane to think about. It's absolutely insane to think about. Okay, I'm gonna stop ranting, stop rambling. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This is crazy. Y'all are crazy. Keep thinking outside that box. Peace.